would you see that connecting with Dr. King's call for a radical revolution of values? This naming of the three triplets, the giant triplets of evil, materialism, militarism, and racism. That's part of our focus has been on this April 4th, 67 letter. And it seems to me that in your work, I hear echoes of that, but make it concrete for us.
Yeah, concrete for me is kind of trying to help the folks that I get to work with think about that intergenerationally or ancestrally. That when King was writing and talking about that, of course, it had very pragmatic moment. Like, this is what's happening right now in this moment in history. People are dying in the street. They're hurting from these systems, and those the triple evils you just named still exist today. Yeah. So for me, it's about lifting up, how do we make policy change, or in my case, again, as working with scholars or doing scholarship and trying to do this, how do we rewrite what we need to know? So that way my grandmother, who didn't have a high school diploma, is taught in every single university out there, because what she had to teach is, and this is part of that multi-generational healing, that in order for us to do this work well, in order for us to really treat these things, we have to see them outside of just our own, just this moment. And that's really hard to do when people are suffering and screaming and crying and dying in the streets. For me, it's to pay attention to it, be the healer in that moment, using those tools and the capacities that my grandmother taught me. And at the same time, having those moments to kind of zoom back and say, what does it look like I live in the Southwest, we're running out of water, very pragmatically, like the systems, the powers that be have, big industry and the government have wiped this space completely clean. We've erased or eradicated people through genocide, indigenous folks from my wife's family, my own family, in this space. So what does it mean to reimagine in 5 generations what a healed world looks like? That means we really have to think about, this is multi-generational imagination around what does it mean to bring the water back, to reclaim the land, to tell new stories on this about what we're trying to set up in 5 generations, which is more than just like last summer. I mean, it was a legit concern with all the fires and all that. We need to get truckfuls of water here, because people will not, they didn't have enough clean water. And at the same time, this should never happen again. We can't do this year to year. We have to reimagine how we think about the water table here, because the rivers have dried up. And for me, that is multi-generational work.